I have to remember where to look when I do this video so that I'm not looking to the side like a crazy person. Anyways, hello, welcome back. Episode 2, Off the Grid Needlearts from the stash pile. And thank you so much for coming back to watch. I have just been completely amazed and so thrilled with the response and the kindness from the stitching community who have watched the video and sort of welcomed me with comments and subscriptions and likes, and it's really made my week. So thank you very, very much. It's been a lot of fun watching the numbers and getting the comments. So thank you very much. As you can see, I am not off the grid today. I am podcasting from home in London, Ontario, Canada, where we have our home where we live for the rest of the year, most of the year. We're hoping that one day we will be living up north much of the time. It is on an island, so you know, obviously difficulties in the winter, but you know, one small step at a time. Our children are in school here and very happy. We live in a great neighborhood, great people around us, and we're pretty happy here. So I can tell you a little bit more about myself if you'd like to know. I didn't really do that very well last week, introduce myself properly. My name is Caroline. A lot of stitchers on Instagram know me as Carrie Fluter. That's how I started my Instagram account a few years ago, and I've only just recently switched it over to Off the Grid Needlearts because that's the name of my blog, and it's also what I was hoping to name this podcast as well. So it was nice to have everything sort of combined together and under one sort of banner. But I will admit I kind of miss my Carrie Fluter account name because it feels a little strange not to see it there. So my name is Caroline. Carrie is a nickname that my family, that I grew up with, my family called me Carrie. They still do. My sister-in-law Kathy calls me Carrie. My brother, rest of my family. John does not call me Carrie. When we met in school, I was going by Caroline at that point, and that's how he met me, and that's what he calls me. So Caroline. I have 2 kids. I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son and a husband, John. And I have 2 dogs, a very large, hairy golden retriever and a beagle. And we have a cat as well, Oscar, who is an orange ginger who is, well, he's about 14 years old now, I think. And my stitching buddy, my friend, he sleeps on my bed every night, and yeah, I'm an animal lover. So here you go. Episode 2 from the stash pile. I love this mug. It makes me laugh every time. My husband brought it back from a business trip for me, and I love it. And I thought it was appropriate for show and tell today because I have something to show and tell. My But First coffee design into a little notions tote, and I love it. I love how it turned out. It's so cute. The back, let's see, just the matching polka dots. Got it nice and close to the fabric when I was sewing it in. When I was up north, I didn't have any zippers that I was happy with the match, and I didn't want to go with a white one. I really wanted a bit of color at the top, and then I just have a very simple lining in the middle there. As you can tell, I already have things in it. I have some stitch markers and a pair of Kelmscott scissors. Aren't these cute? These are my favorite. Very sweet in there. And I have one more thing to add to my bag because it's not quite finished yet. With my coffee goes a donut. Isn't that funny? These are progress keepers from SUCRE Miniatures, which is an Etsy shop. And my friend Adrienne gave me a set of these a while back, and you can use them on your knitting to keep track of your progress, or you can do what I like to do a lot of the time, if I can get it here, and I like to put them on my zippers for a little zipper pull. And what about that, hey? Coffee and donuts. I think that's so cute. The other ones that she very sweetly gave me, a piece of cake, a to-go coffee cup, and a sugar cookie. Isn't that sweet? I thought these were really cute. I'm very lucky. I have very, very good crafting friends. I'm a third member of a knitting podcast called the FIBRE Friends, and we record here in London, Ontario. My girls, we are crazy. We have a lot of fun. And one of the reasons I'm back is because we're going to record an episode tomorrow night, and I'm really excited about that because I missed them. I haven't seen them in about 3 weeks, and we get together often outside of the podcast. We chat all the time by text. We're kind of, it feels like we're teenagers again, chatting all night on the telephone with, you know, the cord hiding under your door, and you're trying to keep it a secret from your parents. We're having a lot of fun. So that's the FIBRE Friends podcast on YouTube with my friends Adrienne and Louise. So what's next? That was my show and tell, and that was the big thing that I finished from what I showed you last week. I made quite a bit of progress on my loose feathers design. The Seasons sampler, I guess it's a sampler, the Seasons design, and I got the second enormous bird stitched. And let me tell you, that bird was enormous. It took a really long time to finish stitching that. I don't know why it took so long. It doesn't look like it's that much, but it over the course of a few days, you know, picking away at it here and there when I had some time, it seemed to steadily grow, but it took quite a while. Right, look over there. Good. So I made quite a bit of progress on that, and I'm hoping by the next time that I podcast, I will have completely finished that section. I don't have much left to go. Just this flower motif up here, the border down the side, and the entire branch that the bird is sitting on. I haven't done any of that yet. And that's it. So I think that is I think I'll have this for show and tell next week. That's my plan anyways. I will be podcasting from here again next week. Well, just one of those things. I'm going to be home next week instead of at the cottage. Let's see. I have a few new things to show you today. One of the reasons why I called this podcast one of the reasons I called this podcast From the Stash Pile is because I really do have a pile of whips and unfinished objects that it's getting a bit crazy. I really need to get on and finish them. Because I really enjoy large-scale pieces, they take a long time, and I'm also not a monogamous project stitcher or even crafter, as I discussed last week. I start to get tired of what I'm working on and need something new that floats my boat. And I have a lot of projects on my list that I would love to start, a few that I've kitted up and have ready to go, but I am sort of holding off on starting them, but I also have a number. I can't even count them because the number would be obscene and probably distressing to me. So as I go through the weeks podcasting, I'm going to try and bring out 3 or 4 large-scale projects, or medium-sized projects. I don't have a lot of small projects that I can show you, and I'm really hoping that that will galvanize me into putting, a week or two's worth of work into that project so that I can start making my way through the pile and getting them on my wall where they should be, because really there's so many more things I'd like to get to. Designers keep coming out with more and more beautiful works, and there's just not enough time in my day. I want to knit, and I want to stitch, and I want to sew, and I want to make all the things, and there's just not enough time, which frankly is a little sad. Anyway, so the next thing that I wanted to show you, that I haven't touched this in a while, but oh, love it so much. This is a Glendon Place design, and it is one of the, it's part of the Amazing Desserts collection, and this is tiramisu. So here's the pattern photo. You can see, it looks, the oranges maybe in the photo overpower the browns, and you can't even see in the photo, even if I bring it close, I'm not sure you can see, there are white sections in here around. Do you see that heart there? Those are beads. There's quite a lot of beading in here. All of these little circles are filled with beads. Aren't they beautiful? Oh, I just love this piece. So when I saw it, and I thought, oh, I really like that, but I'm not a huge orange fan. I like it, but I like a more muted, rustic sort of fall color, and I thought, oh, I'm really going to like that. And then I kitted it up, and I just fell in love, because I'll show you what I've got so far. Ta-da! Isn't it beautiful? And do you see how it really is more on the rust and brown side than orange? I also swapped out my fabric. I did use the, let's see, she recommends Mesa Cashel linen, 28 count. Now this is one of the few times that I actually stuck with a 28 count instead of going down to a 32 or a 36, and I'm really pleased that I did, because I'm thrilled with the stitch definition. This uses Dinky Dye's silk threads, and I'm using 2 strands of silk over 2 threads, and I think the coverage is perfect. The Dinky Dyes is a wonderful silk. I've been really very, very pleased with it. So you can see there's the white in there, and it's all around the border as well. Just there. I love it. And I really like working on this one too. It's a beautiful fabric. So it's not the Mesa, it's another one of the Picture This Plus. Picture This Plus. It's another 28 count hand-dyed fabric, but it's not the Mesa, but I can't remember which one it is. Sorry to say. Remember last week I told you I'm terrible at keeping track, and that is the truth. But anyway, what I would really like to have done by next week, if I maybe could finish one of these larger circles that's on the side, one of these, and fill in just the stitching part of it, I think that would be a really good goal by next week. We'll see. Anyways, tiramisu. Roll it back up, but it's not going back in the pile. It's going to be worked on. Okay, moving right along. The next 2 pieces are one of my favorite designers, really one of my most favorite designers, and she's Canadian. Northern Expressions Needlework, and she is from Port Dover in Ontario. This is Shades of Blue. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, come on. It's so detailed and gorgeous. Just fine, fine, fine stitching. 3 colors. That's it. 3 colors. Very, very lightly variegated. Again, I am using the Dinky Dyed silks in this. Very lightly variegated silks. There are only 3 colors. And once you load your needle, you basically stitch until it's empty and you're good to go. I love that kind of stitching. It's my favorite. It goes pretty fast when you know, don't leave it in the stash pile. So this is Shades of Blue, and here's what I have so far. This is on 40 count white linen, and that's my version so far. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, I love it. I just love it. So I would really like to get done that top corner. That's it, not a lot, not too much. And I think that's, again, I think that's a reasonable goal to complete that top square before I see you again. Just amazing. I mean, what a talent. She has this entire series of shades of all of these colors, shades of orange, shades of green, shades of olive, shades of plum. I mean, I don't know when this woman sleeps because these designs are just phenomenal. And someone please correct me if I'm wrong. I think she stitches all of her models herself. I could be wrong about that. But please tell me if you know, or Nicole, if you're watching, fill me in, because I think you are one of the most talented designers I've ever seen. Just love your work. So, Shades of Blue. And hopefully that top square will be complete the next time I see you. No pressure or anything. I'm not putting pressure on myself. If it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. But I think it's good to have goals, and I think it's good to, you know, talk about those goals so that you do feel a little bit like excited to show your progress the next time that you see each other, right? So, oh, my nails today, my nails are for Fiona. What do you think, Fiona? Do I match today like I matched last week? I literally did these about 3 minutes before I pressed the record button, because I figure if I'm going to keep sticking my hands so close to the camera, you don't want to look at my grubby fingernails. Anyways, that's when it comes in handy having a daughter who has a large nail polish collection. Anyways, okay, so we did Shades of Blue. Next, same designer, Northern Expressions Needlework. This design was one, I have a few of the shades of, I have a few of them kitted up in my closet, but we won't tell, right? It's going to be our secret. So I was having a conversation with Stitchy Mom on Instagram, who I tell you is, she's almost as bad as me at enabling other people to start new projects. I think I might have the edge on her a little bit. And this time I enabled her to start, because we were having a private conversation one night, just chit-chatting about our stash, and I think I had posted Shades of Blue, and then she messaged me about that, and then we started talking about Northern Expressions Needlework, and you know, which kits do you really want to stitch, and which ones do you have, and we discovered that we both had a few projects kitted up that were in common with each other. And Shades of Wine was one of them. So it was late at night, and I said, well, I'll start it if you start it. And she said, okay, I'll start it if you start it. And within 15 minutes, we both had our frames out and fabric loaded and putting the first few stitches in, and of course sharing pictures with each other. I love Instagram. It's so fun, and the fact that you can send and share personal messages with each other that with friends that you've met, I think is rather special. I've met some amazing people on Instagram. So if you're watching this and you don't follow me on Instagram, I'd love to have you come on over and you know, follow my feed and friend me and chat and, you know, join in, because it's a lot of fun. My Instagram account is Off the Grid Needlearts, and I will post that here. I think I've got that right. Boy, that editing job, I tell you. I really, after I had finished the editing last week, I really tipped my hat to Adrian, who edits our Fiber Friends video, which is usually about an hour and a half to an hour and 50 minutes each time we get together, because we talk and laugh so much that the time kind of gets eaten up. And when I edited it, I thought, I can't do nearly as good a job as she does, but I tried my best. So I'll put up the information where you saw it last time in the bottom corner there. This is Shades of Wine. And oh, I'll show you that's the picture of the design there. So you can see they're similar in style. They all are. They're all a little similar in style, but different enough that they complement each other so beautifully. Just gorgeous. Now I am using oh boy, this I should have looked this up. I am using 2 of the Dinky Dyes silks that the pattern calls for, and that is I believe it's the Outside Dark, and the lighter here. But I think the Butterfly, that medium color, I'm pretty sure that is a Crescent Colors cotton. I know. Please tell me, do you all do that? Do you mix silks and cottons? Because I totally do. I don't care. I mean, it's just me that's going to know. No one else is ever going to know that there's a mix of silk and cotton. I mean, unless they were judging it for its merit. And I am never, ever entering anything like this to be judged because, well, anyways, so there you go. Isn't it pretty? You can see the butterfly there. Love it. This motif here, right there, is probably one of the most beautiful things I've ever stitched. I just love it. So, Shades of Wine. You know, I love a big project, but as you can see, I haven't gotten very far. And poor Kristen, Stitchy Mom, I've been a terrible, you know, stitch-along partner because she's way ahead of me. I don't think she's pulled it out in months, but she's way ahead of me already. And I'm way behind. So I think I better put a few more stitches in this week. I don't know how much. Maybe I'll fill in that corner that's empty now, that I have the outline done. Maybe I'll fill that in. That would be a good goal. Not too much. Ta-da! I got a lovely comment last week about the lamps that were behind my head at the cottage, and I think it was Jo. Jo said if I ever wanted to get rid of them, she would find them a good home. Well, Jo, I'm very sorry to say that we do use those lamps. We use propane lights, and also we do rely on our gas lamps, our petrol, you know, kerosene lamps at night as well. Now, the green one that you saw behind my head is a very recent addition. I think I bought it maybe 10 years ago, and it's from Lee Valley, which is a Canadian, how would you describe it? It's it's like a specialty home and garden supersized, not supersized because it's not a big store, but it's like the most imaginative products you can imagine, made extremely well. And it's a mail order company, but they have an outlet here in London where I live. I believe it started here in London, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, Lee Valley, L-E-E, leevalley.com, and I will post the information here. Now, last week I posted show notes on my blog, offthegridneedlearts.com. I did not do a very good job because I did not include any. I didn't put links in. Like I wrote all the information down, but I didn't actually link it to different pages, mainly because I was swamped trying to get everything done last week, and I wanted to get the show notes up so that they were there, but it was really a quick, sort of not very good job. So I'm going to try and do a better job this week. If there's anything that you want to know more information about, or questions about anything that you see that I show you that you want more information on, leave me a comment below this video, or you can visit my blog, offthegridneedlearts.com, and leave me a comment there. And I always check in. Sometimes it might be a few days in between me checking in, especially at the cottage. I used too much data the last time I was there. I mean, for the last month, because I uploaded the video from the cottage, and because I was so excited and I couldn't wait, and I actually did it myself from the cottage because I'd figured out how to do it, and it took about a gig of data, and well, I have to try and be a little more careful with my data usage. So the next two podcasts I will be uploading from here, from home, and then after that I will most likely record and edit at the cottage and have John bring it home and upload it here for me. That's the plan anyways, we'll see. So that is all that I had to show you for the whips that are on my mind, the ones that I really would like to get to. So those are the ones that I think, you know, have caught my eye, and I really want to add a few more X's to them this week. The next thing that I want to talk about is actually a combination, work in progress, and it's leading me into my shop update. So if you want to watch for the next few minutes and then you've had enough, that's fine. I hope you've enjoyed watching all my stuff, and leave me a comment, subscribe. I'm so excited to meet you all. It's just really been so much fun. Thank you. And hopefully as we go along, as the weeks go along, I won't be quite so nervous doing this by myself. I'm thinking that, you know, as I go, I'll get a little more used to this, but it really is hard talking to yourself. Those that have been doing it for a long time, I'm very impressed. Okay, so shop update. The first thing that I wanted to show you is actually something that I made for myself. And because I wanted one for myself, I thought, well, maybe someone else out there in cross-stitch land would want the same thing. So I made two. This is a project bag. It's a large project bag. That's the back. There's the front. Looks the same, doesn't it? Anyways, it is a large project bag that fits a 13-inch wood frame for for stitching. I use mine for counted canvas work. So the project that I wanted to show you, since this is the reason I made this bag, is my now I've shown this project on the Fiber Friends podcast, and I haven't done any more work on it. But for those who are new and are only watching my Flosstube video, this is a counted canvas piece by Nancy's Needle, from Nancy's Needle, pardon me. It's called Starry Skies, and this is from her quilt series. Oh, it's so beautiful. really. Just gorgeous. So I am doing that on a 13-inch wooden frame, those ones that you buy that just snap together. Ta-da! So I still have a little ways to go, but these are fairly fast. So that's the reason why I wanted to make this a bag, because I wanted to be able to tote it back and forth. Up north, I want to finish this project. I want to finish this project up north before the end of the summer, because I would also like to enter this in Faye's Festival of Finishing. Faye is from Crochet Circle podcast, and she's a lovely human, and she is hosting the Festival of Finishing, where we dust off our whips, we finish them up, or we repurpose them, or recycle them, or give them away to a new home, so that we can move on and get them out of the closet into the light of day. So Nancy's Needle, Starry Skies, and that is a 13-inch project bag. I mean, as you can see, there was quite a lot, not a lot, but there's enough room in the bag itself to comfortably fit the project. So I made an extra one. I'll be putting it up on the Etsy shop tomorrow. I'm just going to call it a large project bag. If you've seen the show, you'll know what it is. There's only going to be one. So there you go. 13-inch. Oh, and the lining. Polka dots. I had so much fun making this. I adore birds, if you couldn't tell. I love birds. I love stitching birds. I love sewing. I love fabric that has birds. Anything with birds is my thing. Love it. Okay, so that's going up in the shop tomorrow. The other thing I have, oh yes, this actually worked in my favor. This next bag that I have, I'm not posting yet because this was a mistake bag. And what happens with mistake bags? Well, I get to keep mistake bags. So in March, my family and I traveled to Hawaii. We had a vacation in Hawaii this year. It was a fantastic, once-in-a-lifetime trip. And what did I do in Hawaii? Well, I scoped out the fabric shops, of course, and the yarn shops. I did buy yarn. And I bought fabric. So this is the first thing I've made from some of the Hawaii fabric that I brought back. So I thought, I really should get on and use that. And so I thought this would be a perfect project bag to put in the shop. And then I sewed the whole thing together, and I looked at it and I thought, oh shoot, I forgot to do the top stitching on the zipper. After I installed the zipper, I forgot to do the top stitching. And I would not be happy sending that out in the world because it's not finished properly. So this one is for me. And there is a project in there, but I'll show you that next week. You have to wait for that one. But all that to say, I do have more of this. If you like this bag, keep checking back in. I'm hoping to have this particular combination with the pink twill. Maybe I'll have one or two. I'm running low on the pink twill. I hope to have it up in the shop by the end of the weekend. Today is July the 10th, so that would be by, I don't know, the 15th or 16th. We'll see. And if you like it and you really want it, send me a message and I'll get on it. Isn't it pretty? I love those flowers. It's a very heavy fabric. It's almost like it's not an upholstery fabric, but this is a twill. And I would say this is a canvas weight. This here is a canvas weight. And I lined it with, because it was Hawaii and it made me think of the beach, I lined it with anchors. I think I have just enough of the anchor fabric to do one or two more bags. So that's that. Hopefully in a week. Oh, my nail polish matches this one too. Can you tell I like pink? Okay, the other bag that I have that's going to be going up in the shop tomorrow, and I love these colors. This one. I think these are hydrangeas. This is a Joel Dewberry print, and I love this fabric. I have a number of pieces from this collection, so you're probably going to see a few bags. There, I have an owl bag on the site. An owl, it's a wedge tote, and it's the same color family, and it came from the same collection. The lining on this one is a paisley. It's a nice little surprise on the inside. And I love to put a fun zip on the top. I'll use white if the fabric is really loud and it needs something subtle at the top and you don't want the zipper to talk for itself. But I think with a bag like this, that a little fun pop of color at the top is really quite sweet. So, do you know how lucky I was to get that so straight there? Well, it's pretty good. It's almost an optical illusion, that fabric. I love it. So there you go. That'll be in the shop tomorrow. I'm slowly, I know I only have a few cross stitch project bags in the shop. Up until now, Kathy, my sister-in-law, and I have been concentrating on our knitting bags because the Fiber Friends podcast has been going, and those are the type of bags that we started out making for that purpose. I also sell a similar style bag. It's as a laptop sleeve. My husband has a retail store here in London, a computer store, and I sell laptop sleeves there. He lets me sell laptop sleeves there. He's very kind. So, anyways, I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's it. Okay, well, I hope everybody has had an amazing Monday. And I hope that your coffee is also making you awesome. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back and watching me again. And I hope you saw something that you liked. I hope you like my projects. And I would love to hear about your projects. So join me over on Instagram, Off the Grid Needlearts, and my blog, www.offthegridneedlearts.com. If you're a knitter, I'm on Ravelry still as Carrie Fluter. I have not changed that, and I don't plan on it. And I'm on Facebook as we have a Facebook page for Evertotes as well. I have an Instagram page for the shop. It is at Evertotes with an S on the end, but you can also find the shop with www.evertote.com, and that will take you directly to the Etsy page with that website. Okay, well, happy Monday. Have a wonderful week, and I hope you find lots of time throughout your day to put in a few X's. Happy stitching. Bye.